In this video, I'll be showing you how to use an Arduino as a keyboard to fulfill whatever purpose you desire. For this project, you'll need an Arduino that features the 32U4 chip. This includes anything in the Leonardo series. I'm using the Arduino Pro Micro. You'll also need a 10 kilo ohm resistor or any high value resistor, one jumper wire, and a micro USB cable to connect to the computer. As a disclaimer, this project is dangerous to use on the computer because it takes control of the keyboard. We have to be very careful and make sure that there is a way to turn off the keyboard functionality of the Arduino, otherwise you may not be able to reprogram the Arduino if it keeps pressing keys on the keyboard. This is what we will be using the resistor and the jumper wire for. If the jumper wire gets disconnected, the Arduino will stop typing things. This project can be used for good, like my Arduino USB keypad video, which I'll leave a link for in the description, or this project can be used for destructive purposes like pranking your friends. Please be sure of what you're doing to ensure there's no permanent damage done to anyone's computer except your own. To make the circuit, I have inserted the Arduino Pro Micro into a breadboard for ease of connection. Connect the 10 kilo ohm resistor or high value resistor from the ground of the Arduino to digital pin 2. Connect one end of the jumper wire to VCC or 5 volts on the Arduino, and leave the other end connected to nothing for now. Connect the micro USB cable to your computer into the Arduino, and that's it for the circuit. We will be using the Arduino keyboard library for this project. I've read that it's not necessary to include the keyboard library since it's a built-in Arduino library, but every time I try to use it without including the library, I get an error. So the first thing we'll do in the Arduino sketch is include the library. Then, since we put the resistor on pin 2 of the Arduino, we will declare it as an integer named shutoff on pin 2. Then, in the setup, we will declare shutoff as an input so that the Arduino knows to read the state of that pin. In the loop, we will create an if statement that checks to make sure that our safety wire is connected. If the wire is connected, then the Arduino is allowed to continue sending keyboard commands. Otherwise, if the wire gets disconnected, it stops sending the keyboard commands. This ensures that we have a way to stop sending the keyboard commands so the Arduino can be reprogrammed. To check if the wire is still connected, we will say if digital read shutoff is high, then execute the commands inside. Else, keyboard.end will stop the keyboard commands. In the main if statement, I want to fake a hack attack. To do this, I will have the Arduino open up the command prompt or CMD on my computer, change the text color to green, which looks more hacked, and type out the message, "You've been hacked." Obviously, this does not actually hack the computer, but a gullible person may believe it. Even a non-gullible person should be confused and concerned that the command prompt randomly opened and started typing. To open the command prompt, I will need to first press the Windows key and type CMD, hit enter, enter the command color A into the CMD to turn the text screen, then type in the message, "You have been hacked." To do this, I will first start the keyboard functionality by saying keyboard.begin. You can find a complete list of keyboard commands on the Arduino keyboard modifiers page. The command for the Windows key for a Windows computer or the Clover key on a Mac is key_left_GUI. Since we will be doing multiple key presses, we will use the keyboard.press command and put the parameter as key_left_GUI. Now that we've pressed the Windows key, we want to release it with the command keyboard.releaseAll. I'm going to add a delay before I type CMD to allow the start menu to open. I'm setting it to 1 second so we can see what's happening, but you can reduce this value depending on how fast your computer is. After 1 second has passed, I will use keyboard.print CMD, which will type CMD into the start menu search bar. Since we want to hit the enter key after typing this, we should use print line instead of print, but for some reason the print line was not hitting the enter key after typing things. Turns out other people are having this problem, and it's a problem with the Arduino IDE, but hopefully it gets fixed. So we'll have to hit the enter key manually. I'll put down another exaggerated delay in here so we can see what it types. Then we'll say keyboard.press key_return and then release all to let go of the enter button. I'll put another delay to wait for the CMD to open. To change the color of the text in the CMD, the command is color A. You can look up all the color codes for the CMD and put in whatever you want, but color A changes the text to green. We'll say keyboard.print color A, wait a second to see what is typed, then press and release the enter key. Now the text of the CMD is green. Then we'll type the "You have been hacked" message by saying keyboard.print "You have been hacked." We won't need to press the enter key after this since it is not a CMD command. Finally, I'll put a delay of 2 seconds after this so it waits 2 seconds before starting the whole process over again. If you want it to run only once, you can add a for loop or a while loop to make it run only once, or by putting all this in the setup will also make it run only once. In which case, you won't even need the resistor, the jumper wire, or the if statements to check for the button since it will always run only once. This will allow us to reprogram it once it finishes. But I'll leave it running repeatedly in case it doesn't work the first time for whatever reason, and with that, I'll make sure the Arduino Leonardo and the correct port are selected and upload it to the board. To start it, I'll touch the jumper wire to pin 2 and watch it run. As you can see, it worked flawlessly, and after 2 seconds, it repeats it again. Keep in mind, when doing this to a new computer, it will need to install the drivers for the first time, just like any other USB device would. And of course, please use this responsibly. To make it go even faster, I've changed the delay values to 100 milliseconds, except for the one after the enter button after typing in CMD, which is set to 300, which gives the CMD enough time to open. If you guys liked the video, please be sure to subscribe. I'm currently working on what I call the ultimate USB keypad using the Nextian display, and it will definitely have some mischievous features like this and much worse. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.